And you're live. Welcome, Donna.
Hello, everyone. I'm Donna Wakefield. I'm a professor at National Louis University in Chicago, Illinois. I'm in the special education department, and I am a Google certified trainer, an ISTE certified educator, and an Apple teacher. As you can tell, I like gadgets and computers and technology. And one of the things I like to do is make technology adaptable for everyone. I love books. I think you can kind of tell behind me I like books. You're in my dining room. So today I'm going to show you how to adapt books, make them accessible using Google Slides. So we are in the Prepared to Learn, a virtual PB series. And it's from Pear, Screencastify, Book Creator, and Google for Education. I think that's an interesting group that's paired up to do this for us. So why are we adapting books? It's something that everyone does. Everyone likes books, and it crosses all boundaries. And you can talk to anyone about books. It's deeply woven into society, and some of our best memories come from books. And people with disabilities deserve to be part of the conversations. People with visual impairments have had Braille books for years. Several companies, one right here in Illinois, they offer books that are high interest but written at low reading levels. But students with significant disabilities require teachers to go a step further. For the longest time, people with significant disabilities were ignored when it came to literacy. And it's just been about the last 20 years where we've even thought about it. So we must see the value in teaching literacy. We must know how to provide access, and we must know how to provide the lessons. Why do Google Slides? There's 80 million G Suite for education users, over 80 million. It's free, it's ad-free, there's 24/7 access, it's collaborative, and you can use it on any device and cross-platform. I mean, G Suite, Google, phenomenal. What we're going to think about as we make these slides, make these decks, is first we have to get ready. We have to organize first. We can't just jump in. Then we're going to make our book layout. Then we're going to create the book. Then we can add sound, the thing that we've just gotten access to in the last couple of years. Then we're going to talk about page turning. And then we're going to talk about the all-important copyright. First thing you have to do is choose a book. You must own a copy of the book. That's part of the copyright. You can't just pick any book, borrow it from someone, adapt it, and give the book back. You must own a copy of the book. You can get it from the library on a library sale so that you can keep it. You can pick it up from Goodwill. You can pick it up from a garage sale. I know in my neighborhood, they have the free little libraries on the street where you can just pick up books. You can buy it. Somebody can give it to you, but you must own the book. Now, in Google Drive, create a folder for your book. Very important, start a folder. Label it with the name of your book. Step back for a second. On the front page of this folder, of this presentation, was the bit.ly. It's bit.ly, bit.ly/create adapted book, capital C, capital A, capital B. It's in the chat. This will give you this entire presentation with all of these steps. And I believe it's going to be posted several times in the chat. So don't worry about having to write these down quickly. So in your folder for your book, you're going to make two more folders. One of images, one of sounds. So you've got your folder with the name of your book, and then your images and your sound folders. Then you're going to gather all of the images you're going to put in your book. So you're going to have to think about, here are the pages I want to make in my book. Here are the images I want. You can scan the book. You can use BoardMaker if you have access to BoardMaker. You can use lesson picks. If you've never investigated lesson picks, it's a phenomenal program. You can use symbol picks. You can use photos. You can use sketches. You can go out, use the Explore tool in Google to find images, make sure that they're copyright free. Gather all the images you want. Store them in your images folder that you've created so you have them when you need them. Then you're going to do your sounds. Use some type of voice recorder. Use the online voice recorder. It's web-based, no sign-in. Use Vocaroo. It's also web-based, no sign-in, very easy to use. On a Mac or PC, you can use Audacity. On Apple, you can use GarageBand. You can use Easy Voice Recorder on iOS or Google Play on your phone. That's what I use. So I can just pick up my iPhone, talk to my iPhone, send it right to Google Drive, and put them in that folder. So now I've got a folder with all of my images, a folder with all of my sounds. So I've got all of my sounds in my folder. Now in my adapted book folder, create a Google slideshow and title it with the name of the book. So the book I'm adapting is Susan Laughs. That's what you saw at the very beginning. One of my favorite books. Notice it's Susan Laughs by Jean Willis, adapted by Donna Wakefield, and the date I adapted it. So I've got the author's name, and I've got who adapted it and when. I go ahead, I put in my background color. I usually put in a light pastel color. People with issues with reading, light pastel background colors tend to be a good idea. White, not so good. Hard for us to process. Black print on white, hardest thing for people with dyslexia to process. Then I add a new slide and I use the title only layout. Kind of important to remember, title only layout. Then I drag the title to the bottom of the page. Think about most picture books you look at. The text is at the bottom. Change the font to the font of your choice. Change the font size and color at this time also. You can use any of the Google fonts you want, but think about some of the crazy fonts are hard to read. Look at the font I'm using. It's Lex and Deca. Lex and Deca didn't come out too well there in the dictation. It's one of the easiest to read for people with dyslexia. It's on the last slide. You can find it. Just one of those things to think about. The color I use is dark blue, and that is also on the last slide. But it's just one of those things to think about. So I choose that on this slide. So I've got my light blue, I've got my dark blue, I've got my font chosen. I also add an icon for turn the page. I add the animation there for turning the page just to go to the next slide. And now I just copy paste the slide for about as many pages as I want, usually a couple extra because I may goof up and I want some extra pages. So I can just highlight and do a Control C, Control P, Control C, Control P for as many pages as I want. And there's my book. On my first page, I type the text, Susan Laughs. Then I can insert the image, and I go to my images. I've scanned the image for Susan Laughs, paste it in, put it where it goes, and there's Susan Laughs. This is, I talked about lesson picks. That's the image I picked for Susan Laughs for there. There's Board Maker. Here's going using the Explore tool for Google. And I look at some different girl laughing. I liked this one. Put that one in for Susan Laughs from the web. So I've got Susan Laughs. Now I want to add the sound. I go to Insert Audio. Here's my recording of Susan Laughs. I insert audio, format options. It's going to play automatically. Choose Start Playing Automatically and hide icon when presenting. Leave Stop on Slide Change checked. Leave that alone. Don't touch that one, but choose the Start Playing Automatically. So now when you go to that slide, it's going to say, Susan Laughs. Just about like that, because that's probably about how I recorded it. And repeat for the remaining pages. Click on the Turn the Page icon. Here's how you do the animation. So it's going to go to Add Animation, go to Next, Disappear, actually Appear, After Previous. So after it talks, change it to about 5 seconds. Repeat for the remaining pages. So here's what it's going to look like. It won't play on the video we're showing for some reason. Susan Laughs. Susan Laughs. Susan Laughs. Susan Laughs. So now we can talk about copyright. What is copyright? It's a federal law that protects your work or someone else's work from being copied, changed, or used without permission. In other words, when you create a story, poem, or picture, it belongs to you. Other people have to get permission to use it. Fair use, and we talk about fair use in education all the time, is that we can use it for educational purposes, such as a report or multimedia presentation. In other words, we say, it's for education, it's fair use. But it means we can use 1,000 words or 10% of a book or article. So thinking about Susan Laughs, that means I could have only used 10% of that book. For poems, it's 250 words of the entire poem. Photographs, up to 5 graphics or photographs, not more than 15 images from a collection. Video, up to 3 minutes, but not more than 10% of the entire video. Music, 30 seconds or 10% of sheet music. If using online sites, check the copyright regulations. I'm going through this part quickly. However, and this is what we need to think about for kids who can't access the information any other way. And we were just making a book for kids who couldn't access the book in a typical way. they have a print disability, we can do what we just did. We can scan the entire book, put it into a Google slide presentation, add the ability to hit a switch or hit the mouse to turn the pages, add the sound to it so it can be read to them. That's the Chafee Amendment, and it's part of the Library of Congress law. So just so you know, what I just taught you is legal to do. Just want to show you that there are, but it is for kids with disabilities, not for every kid in your school. But you must own an original copy of the book. So kids who are eligible are blind, have visual impairments, have physical limitations, have a reading disability resulting from an organic dysfunction, and sufficient severity to prevent their reading printed materials in a normal manner. And this is the information about the accessibility of this presentation. So it's Lexin Dexa, which is built into Google Slide. It's built into Google. It's in Slides. It's in Docs. It's in Sheets. It's in all Google things. The font color is dark blue too. The background color is light gray. Text aligned to the left. Bold is used for emphasis. No italics highlighting. One subject per slide using no more than 6 bullet points, and the slides are simple, clear, and uncrowded. And my funny part is, note that I have 7 bullets on this slide, and I say no more than 6. Okay, now questions. I'm gonna see if I can get back to the stop sharing this so I can see any comments or questions. Are there any? I've been talking fast, I know, to get it in. I didn't unplug headphones. Yes, you can create an assignment and share it with just the student that needs to see it. You can share. When you're in Google Classroom, you can, when you go to assign in the column for assignments, it is defaults to assign to all students, but then you take the check off to assign to all, and then choose the students who get it. If that makes sense. Oh, absolutely, you can change the images. That's a wonderful idea. What I want to do is, while you're with me, you're gonna, and I don't think I just changed this. Now I have to, this is the escape, StreamYard, stop screen, share screen, share, no, application. I'm trying to figure out how to show you a different screen. I don't know that I can do it. Do you see a screen that says Susan laughs now? Anybody? We don't know. Yes. Yes. Okay. Good. You see Susan laughs now. Susan laughs. I want you to see this book. Susan sings. Susan flies. Susan swings. Susan's good. Susan's bad. Susan's happy. Susan's sad. Susan dances. Susan rides. Susan swims. Susan hides. Susan's shy. Susan's loud. Susan's angry. Susan's proud. Susan splashes. Susan spins. Susan waves. Susan grins. Susan's right. Susan's wrong. Susan's weak. Susan's strong. Susan trots. Susan rows. Susan paints. Susan throws. Susan feels. Susan fears. Susan hugs. Susan hears. That is Susan through and through, just like me, just like you. That's why I wanted you to see that. I hope you saw the book. Yes? Everyone saw the book? Cool. Isn't that a wonderful book? And everything you saw Susan do, she could do. My favorite overall inclusion book. I hope you got something good out of this. You got some ideas? How long did this take, including time to get the images? Scanning the actual images of the book probably took about 20 minutes to do the book, the actual scanned image. Finding images to do it out of Boardmaker probably took about an hour, because using Boardmaker to do it is a good exercise in synonyms. Same with using lesson picks. And Google Images, it probably takes longer because you get lost in the world of Google. It's like, ooh, look at that. Ooh, look at that. That's really cool. Yes, you could do it in a different language. Of course you could. You can translate it into any language you want. How do you insert the page turning insert? That is an animation where it's a transition, where you're transitioning to the next slide. So it just is inserting some kind of icon. It could be an arrow. I use just a little page turn icon. The one you happen to see on both images, both slide decks, is one from Boardmaker, but it can be any icon showing a page turning. And then that pops up and becomes the transition to turn page. Does it apply to English language learners? It's meant for people with disabilities, and they don't have disabilities. So actually, no, it doesn't. That would be a big stretch for ELLs. I understand what you're saying, but oh, I thought I was a fast talker. Thank you. But I do think having the captioning, I love the captioning, and I think it's something we should all use all the time. I think it's good for our students to have the dual input. As long as the book stays in the library, you can do it with a book from the school library. Just make sure your librarian knows not to get rid of it. Or if it's going to be gotten rid of, it comes to your personal library. Oh, you could, to minimize copyright, you mean to go around copyright, or just to make it easier for students to comprehend? Because if you're doing it for comprehension, that's fine. But if you're doing it to avoid copyright, how do you set up the copyright, the captioning? When you open up your um, wait, I have to go here. I have to go to share screen, application window, share. All right, now I'm going to open Susan Laughs. When I go to present, when I open present a thing, and I'm hoping you see it, I have my menu board down here, and this one says CC captions. I hit that. It makes my slideshow just a little bit different. It makes it smaller, but my captioning appears right on top. And down here on my captions, I have a little bit of a menu board where I can say if I want, where I want, if I want my position top or bottom, and what size I want. And I always put it at the top in extra large. Hope that helped. Now I'm going to stream, screen share, stop share, hopefully. Screen share, now I have to figure out how to stop share. Screen share. If I leave studio, I'm afraid I leave you. Not sharing anymore. Okay, good. How can you use this for disabled students? You put it on whatever device they're using. Are they using an iPad? Are they using a Chromebook? Are they using a computer? They can now control it with a mouse. They can control it with a screen. They can control it with a head mouse. They can control it however they control their device. And they can now read books. Does that? Yes, it is. It's just, yes. That's what the Chafee Amendment covers. That is correct, Sonia. Good, I'm glad you learned. And you all have my contact info. So if you need anything, let me know. This was fun. It isn't a good idea to it's for people with reading disabilities, the highlighting or the underlining can be too distracting to make out what the text actually says. Thank you. Sometimes I think I'm too calm and boring. Vicki, you look like you're laying back on a lounge chair, just enjoying the summer. Ah. Okay, Annie, thanks.